Hey guys, this is your helpful resource when you have questions for what this video, this 25-point video that is due next week is about. It will be about becoming a Pharisee in real life. I want to challenge you to understand truly what it means to be a Pharisee. Back then, in the context that it was, they were the religious leaders of the time. They were the ones that people were to follow. But they got more caught up in the whole rules, follow me, and making up their own rules over what God wanted and what was right. They wanted to be served themselves. So much so that sometimes they would make up rules they couldn't even do, but they required it of others. This is going to challenge your modern day thinking on how we do the same. Our tendencies can be very Pharisee-like, and we want to steer clear of that. Pharisees they had spiritual pride, they have hypocrisy, they have legalism. Another way of saying legalism is to care more about the rules than the people, and holding others to a standard that they couldn't do themselves, right? Just a little encouragement is that Jesus challenged the Pharisees more than anybody else, because think about it, before he sent Jesus, he always had the plan to, but he gave his rules, his law to his people, and they veered off, right? And so the Pharisees were supposed to be the ones that would lead them to God, but they were so far off themselves that Jesus came and had to correct it. I always think of it like braces. They were crooked and they were so far off, and they need to straighten them back because that's how far they had gone from him. Can you imagine thinking yourself a Christian but never truly having a relationship but still thinking you're fine? That's scary, right? And this is what the Pharisees were doing. Not all. We have some stories that we've learned, but just for your understanding, you are going to be creating a video that is a minute to a minute and a half. You're going to take probably the first minute on average to be the Pharisee, right? So number one, there's two options basically. One of the options is that you're going to modernize one of those Pharisee Bible stories, and you're going to just put it into today's context and let me know that you know what a Pharisee is. Or you can create your own story based off the principles from a story of a Pharisee. It says it all here. The common themes that would include pride, hypocrisy, judgment, obsessing over rules instead of love, and wanting recognition or status. Interesting. So those two options are there for you, but I would challenge you to create and write a story first. And then act it out. You're going to need to be in first person. So you're going to be the Pharisee. You're going to use the words I, me, we. You're not going to tell the story as if from another point of view. So go all out, man. Act it out, even dress. I'm giving you points for creativity. So you got to think what a Pharisee would sound like today and be like and look like, right? Then you're going to end it. At the end, you're going to end it with a reflection. You're going to come out of that Pharisee first person and become your own self. And tell me at the end what is the right thing to do. And you're going to tell, hey, this is not what we're supposed to do. So the deeper you go into studying this, the better you're going to have, your video is going to show up good. Now, this is not going to be in anybody's eyes. It's just going to be me, right? Nobody else is going to see it. I promise I'm not going to share it with anybody. But you need to film that video. You need to put a title on it. You need to put the reference of the story you come up with. Mainly people tend to pick the same ones. So try to go out, look up a Pharisee story, look up the word Pharisee, and then find all the stories and pick one that's good. And now you're going to emulate or copy that, but churn it, change it a little bit to modern day And then, yes, so creativity and effort, honest reflection is all key and important. There's a helpful resource there, and you got this. Okay, if you have any questions, I'm here.